Okay, here I am with Jasmine Yow. I'm Artie Vipperla, right? Founder of Harmonize. All of you with all. Jasmine is, well, she's a mom of three. She's a coach of other moms. She's someone with a lot of unusual talents. She dances, she sings. She was a math champion in high school. She's trilingual, right? Chinese, Malay, and English, right? Fluent in all of them. She was raised in Malaysia, but Chinese background. So, and she is the most advanced of all the mentees in harmonizing from having been so diligent at searching out things and meeting with me privately weekly in such a way that she's developed insights that are more advanced than the most of the people who've dropped by. So I've asked her to do this interview, and she has a a deeply enculturated, self-deprecating streak, so that I acknowledge all this stuff, and she has to shake her head. But we'll deal with that. So, Jasmine, your background. Say a little bit so that on this video people have can hear from you. What had you done? What kind of work in self-development and trauma work and higher consciousness had you done before you stumbled across me?
Okay. So I grew up in a Christian Chinese home. I've always been drawn to spirituality. I read a lot of spiritual therapy books. When I was 17, I had a existential crisis. I had a big breakdown. I was diagnosed with mild bipolar. I was on antidepressants and stabilizers for 7 years. So I was deeply struggling, and that's when my investigation into inner child healing began. My dad had counseling, inner child healing books on his shelf. And so, as I tried to understand why I was struggling so much, I went to a range of things, started with CBT, um, and then
Cognitive
through,
behavioral therapy, CBT.
yes,
And you said your father
mhm,
had what books on his healing books on his shelf?
counseling, inner
Counseling.
child healing,
Okay.
and then I left home to Australia, had my different set of struggles there. I got married into a blended family. That's quite unusual, quite against my cultural and religious upbringing. So I had a new set of struggles. My husband is very much into the personal development industry. So I got exposed to a whole set of different things that he was exploring. And together we got into coaching, got different kinds of training. So, in my family struggles and in my own exploration, I had come to this point where, okay, I've learned the cognitive stuff and realized, that skims the surface. Then I learned about nervous system stuff, somatic stuff. I got parent coaching, all sorts of things. I started to see that different coaches or therapists carried with them different worldviews. I started to get into, okay, what's the tension of these worldviews? Then I got into spiral dynamics, and then I did an integral therapist training. I got into the integral therapeutic world,
In
which was
case
very
people don't know,
interesting.
that's a way of ordering systems hierarchically. What's early development, what's subsequent development, what's further development after that. And there's 7 or there's 12 layers and all that. But anyway, she got well informed with all that. And those categories go across East, West, ancient, modern systems of philosophy, therapy, spiritual development. So you got
So
all
all
that,
that
Jasmine.
was very helpful to me, but in my life, my personal life, my family life, the crux, right? The crux of the challenge remained. And I had come to this level of awareness, I guess, where I was starting to think the real power is to be able to show up fully and lovingly no matter the circumstance. I was beginning to wander in that direction and not succeeding, but I began to wander in that direction. And that's when I met Artie.
Well, what drew you to work with me?
So, well, firstly, Artie was very persistent in saying, hey, Jasmine, I can show you how to be a better guide, a better coach. And so we set up a meeting. In the first half hour, he had read my energies in a way like I've never had someone do that, in a way where deep intuitively I felt, oh, he's saying the truth. He's saying the truth about me. And so just on a deep level, I was resonating.
Hmm. That's great. Great, great, great. So we started working. And early
Yeah.
on, what did you notice that had you go, oh, I got to do more of this?
Yeah. So one of the things I realized in my coaching experience is that methods that tell you this is wrong, do that. The wounded self reaction is a shriveling. It's it produces a behavioral correction, but not necessarily a full energetic correction. And I found Artie's website had articulated that. And I'm like, yes, 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 that matches my experience. And the way I began to like delve into all of Artie's videos, I watched him coach other people and myself, and the quality of the correction, it's never shaming. It's never causing the self to shrivel. It's like, ooh, a soothing, a relaxing, like the natural emergence into more loving fullness. Like I experienced that.
How lovely. I'm so glad that you can put it that clearly. How great. How great. And was there a depth, um, some further deepening to all that you noticed? How did that appear in your life as a change that you could point to and say, ah, because you went from someone who was a seeker of Artie's guidance and without it being part of a program or something I formulated, you began to share on your own with other moms, harmonizing. And you even began to set up meetings in advance where people could come and doing social media posts to let people know and announce. What happened? What did you notice?
So I'd been a coach for 3 years, and I'd never felt a deep, restful congruence. And so I was already, you know, doing meetings before. It never had the momentum and congruence that I had once I learned harmonizing. And yeah, congruence is the best word. I just knew deeply that this really helps me, and I know it's going to help other people. So just from that, it was very easy. It was very natural to just keep sharing and saying to people, this stuff works, and I can show you how.
That's great. Well, uh, um, I couldn't ask for some better testimonial than all that you've already said. But let me ask you to step back and to sort of wrap this up. You're very good at seeing the big picture. You have posted on the history of East-West relations, what happened to China in the 19th century under Western powers. What is it going on in China now? What what is the I, you, you you opine on these subjects of large scale cultural changes, developments in historical perspective. So let me just ask you to step back, and I don't think it's going to be much of a stretch to say, look, harmonizing in perspective. What are we doing? What is this about? What do you want to leave people with as an overarching context embracing idea about all this?
Oh, that's very difficult, Adi. Just people come from so many different places and mindsets. And I think someone, like, the more you journey with your own awareness, I think someone's got to engage deeply with the question, like a deep, honest evaluation of how am I showing up in the world, in my relationships, and what are my core struggles, the things I've tried to address that, how effective are they? Why are they not effective? What's blocking me? Like, there's an ongoing deep engagement with these questions that I think have led me to this place where I feel the harmonizing practice is so well suited to accessing abundant resource to face the huge challenges of the present and future.
That's great.
And
Beautiful.
and so initially, been with Artie for a year now, I often faced doubts on whether it was actually working or I was actually growing. And so there were periods of uncertainty. And so the regular meetings helped me notice where my inner ones, my wounded child, was still influencing a large part of my perception. But over time, the difference became more noticeable, especially in challenging relationships, challenging moments. I noticed I more and more easily access a place of resourceful, generous openness, and I'm more able to be with my wounded self.
Wonderful. Great, great, great. Jasmine, thank you for setting time aside for this. And what goes with your appearance, I know you've already given me permission. I wasn't dutiful in providing you with a piece of paper to sign, but I got your permission, right, that I can share this online and let people in on how well you put all this, how genuinely, valuably you share your experience. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you
Thanking me for what?
for everything.
Okay. Well, I think you're thanking me also because whatever your self doubt, you know you have done something valuably with this work for yourself and passing it on. And given your nature and your spiritual development, you value sharing it. So you're glad to chime in and help. You're thanking me for that. I know that. You're welcome. Great, Jasmine. So we'll end the tape here. Whoever got to listen in, healyourdeepesttrauma.com is the website to check out. Healyourdeepesttrauma.com, or you can find me, Artie Vipperla, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and enjoy. Okay. Bye bye for now.